And welcome back to Coffee with the Wolves, presented by JJC Athletics. I'm your host, Damian Dennis, and I'm joined by women's basketball coach Shaun Sanderson. Shaun,
Huh?
welcome back.
Welcome. I should be saying welcome back to you. Back from what was it, Vegas,
No, it was
Canada? No.
Hawaii,
Uh,
which I was not at. I was sitting in the chair right here.
oh yeah, yeah.
And you're like, yeah, Damian's in Hawaii this week.
Well, welcome back to the screen.
Yeah. Fun story. I almost was going to pre record next week's show
Hmm.
because I was going to take my daughter to LA just for a concert. But then I'm like, I can't justify spending that much money.
You could have did the show from the LA.
Don't tempt me. I will. There's still time.
All right, all right. Bring me in on teams or something.
Yeah. Well, we're here to catch up on women's basketball. I know you were on, again, just a couple weeks ago, but you were hosting. You're talking
Yeah.
bowling.
Yeah.
Try to switch it up, do something a little bit different.
Sure.
The original idea was to have Ty and Kai interview one of their fellow bowlers, but they couldn't find anyone that wanted to come on the show.
Oh, they're lost.
Yeah. Unlike you, who's brought a student athlete.
Yep, yep. Yeah, she'll be here shortly.
So, catch up on women's basketball, sitting at 9-9 on the season. We're kind of in that final stretch, kind of getting to the final stretch. It's the end of January. Got 3 weeks of regular season left in February, and then postseason action. So, what are you hoping to kind of see improve from this team? Kind of where you're looking to head to? Just kind of taking stock of where this team's sitting right now.
Yeah, at 9-9, we've been talking about this the last week or so about just getting that flow, or just kind of taking off. At 9-9, we didn't expect to be 9-9, but you want to get to a point where you get like maybe 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row, 5. So to try to get a winning streak here. I finally revealed to the young ladies that we have to be 500 if we're going to go to the postseason. So we're at 500 now. So with 10 games remaining, of course, we got to win at least 5.
Yeah.
I'm encouraged. We've had some bruises, some little small injuries. So throughout this phase, we've been trying to recover. But, the other thing with that is not a lot of teams get to add a talent like we've added at the break. And that's with Lovely Tua-Link coming in. So, although once we start to develop a chemistry, here it is. You bring in a guy who's, a big part of what we do, where the team has to adjust and play with her as well. So, but like I said, we're fortunate to have her, and you see in the production what she means to our team.
Yeah, yeah. Last week, I don't remember what she had your last home game, but all over the place. She's also off camera, so it's always weird talking about them when they're just on the other side of the camera
Yep,
here.
yep.
But all over the place. Another one who you got back kind of after the break was Kira.
Yes.
Last week, it was, again, I don't remember her stat line, but I swore she scored more than she did. I think she put up 15 points, but it felt like she put up 20.
Yeah.
Hit a few threes early that
Yeah.
kind of sparked, that last home game. And then, you just built from there. Because what was that final, like 90-48 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Prior to that game, when you're coming back from a lower leg injury, in her case, it was her ankle. You don't get to run or get the conditioning that you need for a game. So we knew it was going to take her a little bit of time to just kind of move at a decent pace. So when we played Malcolm X, I told her that was the best movement game that I had seen from her. And then the next game, that's when she scored the 15. But she's starting to get her legs up under her. She knocked down a couple key three-point shots for us the other night. So, she had to rebuild her confidence.
Yeah.
So we even went a whole week. We told her, don't take no more threes. We want you to focus on mid-range jump shots. So before we even got to the end of the week, I saw her hit a couple threes. I said, you can go ahead and hit some threes now. So I would like to think that did the trick. So, so here it is. You got 2 guards that are very potent to our offense that, we got to get adjusted to, because she had only played in 5 games before she went down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see some great things. I see some really good things. It's just a matter of putting it all together and closing out these games.
You know what's fun to watch with your team right now is anyone can really have a hot night. We've seen Lovely go off. We saw Kira go off last week. Kaya's always usually getting her share. We've seen Jazz and Demi. What's it like to kind of see such a large, I guess, or being able to see so much, I guess, varied production and kind of, you can expect it out of anyone pretty much any night.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the great thing about this team. It can be anybody, any night. From what I've seen, it's at least has to be three.
Yeah.
The other night we had two, and we lose a game by 5 or 6 points. But it has to be three players that are like in that double digit. But we know when we need a basket, who those players are that we need to get the ball to. So any baskets that we can get from the Jazz and the crazy thing is they all score differently.
Yeah.
So it's like if you take this away, now we got this player that can do this, and we got this player that can do that. So and that's a team that's hard to guard, and that's a team that will win. Sometimes I don't think they know how talented that they are, but that's a part of that growth that we continue to see. So, but I love, we have 7 players that can score double digits at any given moment.
Yeah. Uh, I just had the thought and it left my head, but kind of building on the topic of growth, I feel like some of these games, some of the ones you've lost, you've actually had leads kind of early and they end up slipping away. How do you overcome that in these last few weeks of the season? And that was my thought. Luckily, it came back.
Experience. If you look at the players that we have, some of them didn't play that much in high school or they came from losing programs. So it's experience. And I have to realize and be patient at times that they're getting their experience on the floor. We don't have too many people on the bench that we say, all right, this is this, that. They're learning in the film room and on the court. So we have to make sure as a coaching staff that we identify those moments and try to put them in those moments during the practice. So, but they're getting their experience right now. Sometimes they hit a big shot like Lovely has a couple times at the spur of the moment, something we never worked on, and she executed. We executed as a team. But they're getting their experience now, which is great because heading into February and then March, they'll be that experienced basketball player.
Yeah. What are your expectations kind of moving forward? Obviously, the goal is to reach the postseason, make a run in the postseason. But, as a coach, looking at this team now, just kind of how are you feeling and what are your expectations?
We already started studying. So we're going to be the 4th seed in Dallas, Texas. So we've already been studying those first 3 teams. No one can match our talent, and then especially with the direction that we're going. We're getting healthy now. But we want an opportunity to win at the national championship. Or, there's going to be 12 teams. Why not us?
Yeah.
It takes 5 to play, but we have a magnificent 7, I like to call them. So we just want that opportunity. So I told him the other day, if losing is going to teach us how to win, then I'll take it. But we have to be better. We have to be 500 minimum.
Yeah.
So, they're getting their experience right now. But I expect us to be in Dallas, Texas, winning it all, and then in Rochester with the opportunity to play for the national title.
Something I saw last week, last home game. So earlier in the season, we did those interviews for the halftime presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun. We had to stop them because a lot of work. I run out of time, but we did those, and you had talked about how like a lot of your players always like, Coach, show more emotion, show more energy out there. Last week I saw you get heated for a moment. You threw your towel or whatever it was down. You were like, what? Why? Like, I wish I would have gotten a photo of it, but you seemed heated for whatever reason. I don't recall it, but like, I just want to ask you about that because again, like, I'm not used to seeing it. Like, maybe some frustration sometimes, but never like you throwing something.
Definitely frustration, and it was a towel. I know my limits, so sometimes they need to see that emotion. It's when you're raising a child, you tell them to do something. By the time you have to tell them the same thing the second and third time, that tone is not going to be the same. So, and that's what we experience. And when you know what they can do and what they're capable of, it's like once I see your best, I'm not going to settle for less. So, I know what you bring to the table. I know what you can do. So, and that's a lot of times the frustrating part. And then when you have to have a loss with it, as a coach, that is very frustrating. So, but they responded to it very well and made the necessary adjustments. But they said they want to be a championship team. They need to know and understand what that means.
Yeah. Well, That's all I got for you this week. Actually, you know what? I know what we can talk about real quick
Sure.
because I wanted to bring Danny on,
Hmm.
but he's not going to be here until right before your game kicks off, and it's like, wow, we can't record before that. Um, men's basketball, they had an 11 game win streak, finally ended, unfortunately, but like you and Danny are always kind of interconnected,
Yeah.
as basketball coaches. What can you speak on like the men's side of things right now?
He has his guys playing some really good basketball right now, and they went up against a really good team against Bryan and Stratton, who I believe is top 25. Um, and sometimes when you're winning a lot, I believe they got up to a 12-game win streak. Sometimes when you're winning a lot, you start to take things for granted, and you don't work as hard anymore. So I think, and on that long bus ride home, um, I think they kind of understand now. We got to work harder because teams are going to come after us. So this loss for them may be a good thing, so they can kind of refocus and remember what allowed them to have that 12-game win streak.
Yep,
So, but they have a veteran coach. He's going to always have them ready, prepared. Can't wait to see what their response is to that loss.
we'll find
Um,
out tonight.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Sean, we're going to bring on Lovely next, but I want to thank you for joining me here for Coffee with the Wolves again.
Well, I had a lovely time. Thanks for having me.
And next up here in Coffee with the Wolves, I am joined by Lovely Tua-Link. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Uh, First time here on the show, but you've worn the headset before. I think just once before, but
Yeah,
no. Welcome.
thank you.
So I think last week after the game, you had joined the live stream with Ty and Kai up there, and you had said something. I watched it back. That was only your second home game since you've been with the team. So we're recording this before your Thursday night home game, Game 3 at home. How you feeling?
I feel good. It feel good to play at home with our fans and with all our staff there. Y'all are a good support system.
Uh, what have you enjoyed since you've been able to join the team proper, get into action after the break? What have you enjoyed? Just about playing here at JJC, both at home and on the road.
My teammates, I like playing with them. At first, it was weird because I didn't know them for real, and I was just like a practice player. But then actually playing with them and doing stuff that we practice, it feel good and it's fun.
You've only appeared in what 7 games so far, I think.
About yeah.
Yeah. But you got a high average. I could just minimize it and look. I have it pulled up, but you're scoring, you're rebounding, assisting. You're hitting your free throws. Only 7 games, but your impact's being felt. What does that mean to you?
Again, it just feel good, being in my hometown and being able to come back and come out strong. Some players can't come out and say that they average 15 and, this only being my 6, 7 game back.
Yeah. How are you gelling with your teammates? I know you said it's one of your favorite parts about playing right now, but you've only been on the floor again for about 7 games. There's practices, meetings, hangouts, whatever outside of the game, but even in the game, the chemistry's there already. Just can you explain kind of like how you've built that chemistry with your teammates and just how you gel with them?
I think it is, the outside part, like when we're not in practice and when we're not around coaches, like we talk on our own, we plan stuff on our own. So us getting to know each other on a different level, outside of basketball, that really helps build the chemistry and build our trust.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are some of the things you guys do outside of the basketball or the JJC setting?
Oh, I don't know, we just hang out together. Like we might go to the movies or something, or just all hang out in one area and just, I don't know, chill.
So, as a first time appearance here on Coffee with the Wolves, I like to ask student athletes a couple questions. One of them being, why'd you choose JJC? Just in general, whether it's for the playing aspect, school aspect, why'd you choose JJC?
One of the reasons was because of Coach Shaun. He been on me since I was in middle school, so it was only right to come, and see what he was talking about. And then again, I'm from Joliet, so being part, kind of trying to take that role of the hometown hero and just play my part and do his best.
I'm curious to know a little bit more about Shaun's recruitment process. If he's been
Oh,
after you since middle school, can you explain a little bit what that was like?
everywhere I went, I seen Shaun. Where I turned around, he was there at another game. He was there. I might even see him at Walmart. Like I never know. I always see him. And even in high school, between classes, I would see Coach Shaun. So yeah.
That's fun. What have you decided on a major yet, or are you still kind of undecided?
Yeah. I do. My major right now is business, but I'm still kind of like undecided.
Business is a good one to kind of
Yeah. Start
claim
with.
until, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I took a bunch of business classes early and then a bunch late too. Uh, you know, let's talk a little bit about the team right now. Again, sitting at 500, 9-9 on the season, and again, this is coming out Friday morning. You have a game tonight, so hopefully 10-9. By the time people see this, but um, you know, what would you kind of grade this season so far, and what are your expectations moving forward?
I think I think we're in a good position right now. I feel like we like Coach had told us before, we got to know how to lose to learn how to win. So I feel like we did all our losses. We got that out the way. So right now we know how to handle things and again experience. Like we've been through certain like hard situations. So now when it matters in the end, we gonna know how to handle it. So
Uh, and again, you haven't appeared in every game this season, but I asked Coach Shaun kind of about, the team jumping out to late leads and then kind of letting them slip away. It happens, but, he mentioned experience will kind of help eventually level that out. Can you on the court kind of help, like, maybe get a lead and hold on to it?
um since I do play point guard, my role is to lead and to slow the ball down when we need to, gather our team together and just talk them through it. I manage the tempo of our game and everything above. So me just doing what I have to do and being the leader. That's yeah.
Yeah. What's been your favorite part so far about joining the team? In terms of the gameplay itself, just being back out on the court.
Just playing. I really like, showcasing my skills and the hard work that I put in.
How much time did you have away from the sport? Because I know you didn't play the first half of the season, and I don't know anything before
I
that really.
I didn't. This is my first year playing in three years. Cause I redshirted my first year at a different school, and then when I came here, you would call that a red shirt again? I just didn't play. I didn't play last year, and then sat out this first semester of this year. So it's been a minute.
Yeah. What's it like, kind of coming back from such an extended period of not playing, and then coming in and then to the success you've had so far?
Mm, I don't. To me, it don't really feel like anything. It feels like something I was supposed to do, something that had to be done. So it's just feel. I'm very comfortable. When I wasn't playing, that's where the problem was. Like I was very uncomfortable. But now I'm in my scene, so I like it.
How'd you manage not being able to play but still being at the games watching? Because I know like earlier in the season, we'd see you out there, but obviously not suited up to play. Just shooting around in warm ups or whatever.
Again, I feel like I was born to be a leader, so I can't really even off the court. If I'm not playing, I still gotta be a leader. Be supportive. Like being a leader don't mean I have to score all the time, or doesn't mean I have to be on the floor. I was talking to my teammates. I was encouraging them. I was practicing and putting in the same work they was. So
I want to ask. Last week at home, you were in the room when I asked your coach this, but he's not usually very emotional on the bench. And last week he threw a towel down. He looked frustrated about something. I don't even remember what it was because I think you guys won that game, so I don't know what it was. But what's it like to kind of see cool, calm, and collected Coach Shaun kind of lose his cool for a moment, I guess.
it might sound crazy, but I like seeing him like that. It just shows that he care. Because a coach who don't care wouldn't put that much passion into it. He wouldn't be like if he not yelling, he don't care. So
How do you like kind of Coach Shaun's demeanor though? Because again, we talked about it. He brought it up earlier in the season. Like, why are you so calm, Coach? What's that like for you guys, when he is himself, I guess, not losing his temper?
I think it's good because we need somebody to be, level headed. We need somebody to be calm because I feel like all of us, we get very passionate as well. So if our coach is just as angry or just as ecstatic as we are, it just might mess up us, the listening process.
Last question, kind of the same vein as your coach, but I want to ask about the men's basketball team because they've been on a roll lately. You guys at home, you're always watching the games after your games. Just what do you think of the men's team this year?
I think they good. I don't really know they've been showing out, so hopefully we can get where they at. You know, I don't really know what else to say. They've been doing good, so shout out to them.
That's fine. Lovely. It was nice having you on Coffee with the Wolves. Hopefully, have you on again soon. Yeah, tune in next week, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank